Welcome to this evening's meditation and Sutra study. We'll get started with 30-minute Supreme Bodhi meditation. All right, we'll take a few minutes and proceed to the Sutra study portion of the evening. All right, and we'll proceed to read where we left off last time. We're at the top of page 217 in the Shravana Sutra. And then let me just sound settings. All right.
I have an observation.
Yeah.
Since you mentioned earlier that you were too tired from your travels. It's just us. Did you want to just end the study tonight, end the meeting tonight?
We could, but I know Robert expressed interest in continuing to proceed.
Oh, okay, cool. That's great.
Is that how you
Awesome.
feel? I don't mind.
Okay, no,
I don't
I
mind.
don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind at all either. I don't mind.
Sure,
Not at all.
I have no problem reading, but I'm always open to suggestions too.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
no, I don't mind at all. I don't mind. I'm gonna probably continue to do work around outside here. I'm getting my outdoors in already. And while you guys read.
Okay,
Okay.
And Pops
thank
is
you.
here. He'll listen in too.
Oh,
Thanks.
okay, cool. Here,
Right.
you want the controller? I can use the laptop if you want to use the.
In addition, you should teach worldly men who practice samadhi not to kill. This is called the Buddha's profound teaching of the second decisive deed. Therefore, Ananda, if killing is not stopped, the practice of dhyana samadhi is like shutting one's ears while crying in the hope that people will not hear one's voice, or like trying to hide something that is already exposed to full view. All bhikshus who live purely and all bodhisattvas always refrain even from walking on the grass. How can they agree to uproot it? How then can those who practice great compassion feed on the flesh and blood of living beings? If bhikshus do not wear garments made of silk, boots of local leather and furs, and refrain from consuming milk, cream, and butter, they will really be liberated. They will really be liberated from the worldly. After paying their former debts, they will not transmigrate in the three realms of existence. Why? Because by using animal products, one creates causes, just like a man who eats cereals grown in the soil and whose feet cannot leave the ground. If a man can control his body and mind, and thereby refrains from eating animal flesh and wearing animal products, I say he will really be liberated. This teaching of mine is that of the Buddha, whereas any other is that of evil demons.
Further, Ananda, if living beings in the six worlds of existence cease to steal, they will not be subject to the continual round of births and deaths. Your practice of samadhi should free you from defilements. But if your robber's mind is not wiped out, they cannot be eliminated. You may acquire much wisdom, but if you do not stop stealing, when dhyana manifests, you will fall into the way of devils, in which the high rank is attained by cunning spirits, the intermediate one by evil spirits, and the low one by bedeviled men. These devils have their following and boast that they attain supreme bodhi. After my nirvana, in the Dharma ending age, these devils will be found everywhere in the world. They will hide their perfidy, pose as men of good counsel, and declare that they have won the superior Dharma to deceive the ignorant, who will thus lose their minds. Wherever they pass, they will cause untold miseries to their believers.
This is why I teach the bhikshus to beg for food, so that they can overcome cupidity and realize bodhi. They do not cook themselves and pass their remaining years as transitory travelers in the three realms of existence, to prove that their last transmigration without incarnating again. How can thieves who wear the Sangha robe act as Tathagata mongers and commit karmic deeds, claim that they all preach the Buddha Dharma? They are not leavers of home and are not ordained Hinayana bhikshus. They deceive an incalculable number of living beings, causing them to fall into the realm of unintermittent hells.
After my nirvana, if there is a bhiksu who, in token of his determination to practice samadhi, lights in front of an image of the Tathagata a torch, or burns a bone of his finger or an incense stick inserted in his flesh, I say he will thus repay all his karmic debts since the time without beginning, will leave the worldly way forever, and will escape from the stream of transmigration. For although he has not yet attained supreme bodhi, his mind is already set decisively on the Dharma. However, without these small sacrifices, even if he realizes something, he will be reborn as a human being and will have to repay his former debts, as I did when I had to eat the grain fed to horses.
Then you should teach worldly men who practice samadhi not to steal. This is called the Buddha's profound teaching of the third decisive deed. Ananda, if stealing is not stopped, the practice of dhyana samadhi is like pouring water into a vessel which will never hold it, in spite of the passing of aeons, countless as dust. If this bhiksu does not keep garments in excess of what he needs, gives to others all food in excess of his requirement, joins his two palms to salute the community, and regards as praise abuse and blows. That is, if he is ready to give away his own flesh, bones, and blood. And if he does not pose as an expert interpreter of the expedient, incomplete doctrine, and does not teach it to beginners in order not to mislead them, the Buddha will seal his realization of samadhi. This teaching of mine is that of the Buddha, whereas any other is that of evil demons.
Ananda, if living beings in the six worlds of existence, after cleansing their bodies and minds from killing, stealing, and carnality, continue to lie, they will fail to realize samadhi and will become demons filled with pride and prejudice. As a result, they will lose the Tathagata seed, and in their search for worldly fame, will claim that they have achieved and realized what really they have not. They boast of their realization of the states of Srota Apana, Sakradagaman, Anagaman, Arahat, and Patyeka Buddha, and the 10 stages of Bodhisattva development in order to attract believers who will make offerings to them for the atonement of sins. These unbelievers will destroy the Buddha seed as easily as cutting into the trunk of a palm with a sharp chopper. The Buddha predicts that these people will destroy their excellent roots, will not regain common sense, will sink into the three oceans of suffering, and will never achieve samadhi.
I now command bodhisattvas and arhats to appear in the Dharma ending age, after my nirvana, in all appropriate transformation bodies to save those caught in the wheel of samsara. They should come as monks, lay disciples, princes, ministers, boys, girls, and even as prostitutes, widows, rogues, thieves, butchers, peddlers, etc., to keep company with them and praise the Buddha Dharma in their presence, so as to convert them and urge them to practice it. In so doing, they should not disclose that they are true bodhisattvas and arhats. They will not reveal to beginners the Buddha's esoteric cause, but when they are about to die, they will secretly show some proof of their enlightenment. How then can such persons deceive living beings by telling deliberate lies?
You should teach worldly men who practice samadhi not to lie. This is called the Buddha's profound teaching of the fourth decisive deed. Ananda, if lying is not stopped, the practice of dhyana samadhi is like copying in excrement a sandalwood statue and expecting it to be fragrant, which is impossible. I teach the bhikshus to develop a straightforward mind, which is the temple of enlightenment, and to be righteous in their common acts of daily life, while walking, standing, sitting, and reclining. How can a liar pretend that he has realized the supreme Dharma? This is like a poor man proclaiming himself a king. He will only invite trouble and misfortune. Still less can he usurp the king of the law. If the causal ground is false, its fruit will be distorted, and the quest of Buddha's enlightenment will become impossible.
If a bhiksu develops a mind as straight as a lute string and is truthful under all circumstances, he will avoid, in his practice of samadhi, all troubles caused by the demon. I will seal his realization of the Bodhisattva's supreme Bodhi. This teaching of mine is that of the Buddha, whereas any other one is that of evil demons.
Ananda rose from his seat, prostrated himself with his head at the feet of the Buddha, and said, "We were ignorant and sought only listening. This is why we fail to forsake the worldly mind. Now, after we have heard with great benefit the Buddha's compassionate instruction on the right practice of sublimation, our bodies and minds experience great comfort. World-honored one, in this practice of Buddha Samadhi and before attaining nirvana, what are the progressive steps from the manifestation of dry wisdom through the 40 stages of bodhisattva development to the realization of universal enlightenment?"
After saying this, he prostrated himself and, together with the whole assembly, reverently stared at the Buddha and awaited his compassionate voice. The Buddha praised Ananda and said, "Excellent, excellent. It is good that on behalf of this assembly and of all living beings in the Dharma ending age, who will practice samadhi in their quest of Mahayana, you can ask for my instruction on the unsurpassed path from the worldly condition to parinirvana. Listen attentively to what I now tell you."
Ananda and the assembly brought their palms together and concentrated their minds to receive the teaching. The Buddha said, "Ananda, you should know that the absolute nature is completely enlightened. It is beyond name and form and is fundamentally free from either the world or living beings. Because of ignorance, there arises birth, which is followed by death. So birth and death are unreal, and the wiping out of the unreal brings about the real, which is called supreme bodhi and parinirvana. Hence, these terms imply the twofold transmutation. Ananda, if you now wish to achieve this state of samadhi in order directly to reach the Tathagata's parinirvana, you should know first the two inverted causes which lead to the existence of living beings and the world. The non-rising of these inversions is the Tathagata's true state of samadhi.
Ananda, what are these two inversions? Because of the mind's awareness of the bright nature, the latter, which is fundamentally enlightened, becomes an objective form, as opposed to a false perception. Thus, from fundamental nothingness arises actual phenomenon. The existence and its creation, the causeless cause of subjective, and its objective creation, and subjective dwelling in their objective abode, have no real basis, from which does not abide anywhere spring the world and living beings. The faculty awareness of completely enlightened nature creates a falsehood, which has neither nature nor basis. If you wish to restore the real, this very wish is not related to absolute nature. If the unreal mind is used to recover real nature, the latter will be unreal, and of necessity there follow illusory birth and existence, as well as unreal mind and dharma, which will unfold endlessly, and will gain in intensity, thereby creating karma, and so responses from those sharing the same karma. This karmic responsiveness leads to the interdependence of births and deaths, hence the inverted cause of the seeming existence of living beings.
Ananda, what is the inverted cause of the world? Because of the illusory existence and its creation, there arises the mortal lot clinging to space. Because of the causeless cause of subjective and its objective creation, and because of subjective dwelling in their objective abode, all unfolding continuously and transitorily, time arises. Thus, the three aspects of time and four cardinal points of space intermingle and combine to produce the 12 categories of beings.
Therefore, in the world, movement leads to sound, sound to form, form to smell, smell to touch, touch to taste, and taste to thoughts. These 6 illusions contribute to the formation of karma, which causes the division into 12 different types of change. Hence the wheel turning in samsara, wherein these illusory sense data end in 12 different transformations in each rotation. Such inversion that turns the wheel of samsara creates species born of eggs, wombs, humidity, and by transformation, having forms, being beyond form, thoughtful or thoughtless, having neither form nor no form, and being neither thoughtful nor thoughtless.
Ananda, because of the turning wheel of illusion in samsara as a result of inversion caused by stirring minds, both subjective and objective are in harmony and combine to produce favorable conditions for 84,000 rising and sinking confused thoughts which form the embryos in eggs for incarnation as fishes, birds, turtles, snakes, etc. They are found in plenty all over the world.
Because of the turning wheel of moral infection in samsara, as a result of inversion caused by sensual minds, both subject and object sustain each other and combine to produce favorable conditions for 84,000 confusing, divergent thoughts, which become fetuses in the wombs for incarnation as men, animals, dragons, immortal beings, etc. They are found in plenty all over the world.
Because of the turning wheel of attachment in samsara, as a result of inversion caused by craving minds, both subject and object inflame each other and combine to produce favorable conditions for 84,000 vacillating, confused thoughts, which become damp embryos in humidity for incarnation as crawling insects and wriggling worms. They are found in plenty all over the world.
Because of the turning wheel of change in samsara as a result of inversion caused by deceitful minds, both subject and object stimulate each other and combine to produce favorable conditions for 84,000 changing, confused thoughts taking the shape of solid lumps for incarnation as beings which shed their skins, change their forms, and fly. They are found in plenty all over the world.
Because of the turning wheel of stiff dispositions in samsara as a result of inversion caused by hindering minds, both subject and object adhere and combine to produce favorable conditions for 84,000 mystical, translucent, and confused thoughts, which take solid form to incarnate as people whose luminous quality forebodes good and evil. They are found in plenty all over the world.
Because of the turning wheel of dissipating dispositions in samsara, as a result of inversion caused by deluded minds, both subject and object unite with dullness to combine to produce favorable conditions for 84,000 confusing, mysterious thoughts, for formless rebirth as beings, are dissolved in the great emptiness. They are found in plenty all over the world.
Because of the turning wheel of fanciful dispositions in samsara as a result of inversion caused by imaginative minds, both subject and object unite with recollection and combine to produce favorable conditions for 84,000 latent and firmly confused thoughts to be reborn as ghosts or spirits of thoughtful beings. They are found in plenty all over the world.
Because of the turning wheel of dull dispositions in samsara, as a result of inversion caused by stupid minds, both subject and object cling to interactableness and combine to produce favorable conditions for 84,000 confusing, lifeless thoughts, for rebirth as spirits dwelling in earth, trees, metals, and stones. They are thoughtless beings that are found in plenty all over the world.
Because of the turning wheel of parasitic dispositions in samsara, as a result of inversion caused by guileful minds, subject and object infect each other and combine to produce favorable conditions for 84,000 confusing commensal thoughts for rebirth as beings who are formless yet have form, such as jellyfish, which use shrimps as their eyes. They are found in plenty all over the world.
Because of the turning wheel of seductive dispositions in samsara, as a result of inversion caused by artful minds, both subject and object rely on spells and combine to produce favorable conditions for 84,000 in treating confused thoughts for rebirth as beings with form, yet formless, who grow weary of witchcraft. They are found in plenty all over the world.
Because of the turning wheel of deceitful dispositions in samsara, as a result of inversion caused by tricky minds, both subject and object combine to produce favorable conditions for 84,000 interchanging confused thoughts, to be reborn as thoughtful yet thoughtless beings, such as wasps, which mistake larvae of other insects for their own. They are found in plenty all over the world.
Because of the turning wheel of revengeful dispositions in samsara, as a result of inversion caused by murderous minds, both subject and object unite in whimsy and combine to produce favorable conditions for 84,000 fantastic thoughts of parricide and matricide, to be reborn as beings who are thoughtless yet thoughtful, such as certain owls and tigers, which respectively devour their mothers and fathers. They are found in plenty all over the world.
All right. It is about 6:35, so this is probably the stopping point. Well, I mark this as the stopping point. Does anybody have anything that they want to talk about that related to what we read or the practice?
Not generally. I mean, kind of generally, I got something to say. That once you realize Supreme Bodhi, you're no longer reborn like this.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
true.
So it's amazing. I think back to my ignorance of the situation and how I had no clue that all this existed. No clue that, quiet mind existed
Yeah.
and where it came from. I always blamed other situations. It's because it was fate or because it was, somebody else's fault or something else's fault or my fault that things would be difficult. And now, now there's no more of that. It's all a matter of watching my thoughts. It's still difficult. It's still difficult, but it's still obvious that it's what I make it. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's incredible that something like this resource, Buddhism, has been able to transcend all this time.
Yeah. Well, it keeps getting reborn. So reborn
Yeah.
and reborn every 2,600 years. It's reborn. And so it is, yeah, there's evidence of it all around the world. It's just that people don't know enough about Buddhism, or if they know, they don't think that it should matter. So anyway. But thank you. That's what I want to tell you. It is interesting to look back on what I knew before, say that I can see why it would be that I reborn in different forms due to my predisposition. Definitely. But anyway, that's my input. Thanks.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. That concludes our evening of practice together tonight. Thank you for joining. And I hope you have a good rest of your evening, and we'll see you on Sunday.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, very, very cool. Thank you. Do you do any kind of closing after this or no?
Not usually, not like a goth or anything.
Oh, cool. All right. then we're just dismissing, correct?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Night night. Pops says night night too. Here. Night night.
Night-night.
99. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Night night. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.